Now this guy here is saying that my 3D printed Harlot 22 is impractical. This is a single shot 22 pocket-sized pistol. You can pretty much make this thing at your house, and then, you know, a little trip to the hardware store. You're about 25 bucks in, and you have yourself a pocket-sized self-defense firearm. It also has an additional storage clip here that holds an extra 6 rounds that just stores right into your pistol grip. Now, when people on the internet tell me something isn't practical, I like to just ask them, not practical for what? Like, are you talking about your make-believe John Wick firefight you made up in your head? Or are you talking about, you know, things that actually take place in reality or, you know, in the real world? And he responded by saying, this thing is not practical for hunting, it's not practical for self-defense, and it's not practical for competition. Now, there's going to be a few keyboard warrior, Call of Duty wannabe bathroom operators out there that think this guy has some valid points, but that's just because they watch too many Jason Bourne movies. So it's impractical for hunting. Well, that's a pretty vague statement. What are you hunting? You hunting a bull moose or are you hunting a squirrel? Because last time I checked, you could kill a squirrel with a fucking slingshot. So it's impractical for self-defense. Now this is where I'm going to piss off the Call of Duty build Glock 17 fanboys. And that's because unlike them, I don't measure a firearm's practicality for self-defense on whether or not it has a flashlight, compensator, red dot, or high-capacity magazine. As far as I'm concerned, the most practical weapon for self-defense is the weapon you actually have on you when you need a weapon for self-defense. For example, through this entire video, you might not have noticed that I've had this in my pocket the whole time. Now, he says this isn't practical for self-defense, and that's because he has other options. But that's not the point of 3D printed firearms. 3D printed firearms aren't for people who can run to their local gun shop and pick up a $1,400 Sharps Bros. They're for people who otherwise wouldn't be able to acquire a firearm at all. So in that context, we're talking about a 3D printed homemade handgun that you can conceal in your pocket, and it costs less than $25 to make. Now, I don't know about you, but that, for one, sounds like the most American fucking thing I've ever heard. And two, I'd say this is a lot more practical to carry than, I don't know, something like a rock